I am Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. She is the author of the book Read, Reflect, Respond. No other than Miss Gloria Vanderhorst. Welcome to Book 101, Miss Gloria, and can you please introduce more about yourself?
Yes, thank you, Daniel. I am excited to be here. I am a psychologist with 50 years of experience covering the lifespan from preschool children to adults. And I have a book that will change your life and help you to grow and understand your early history as well as your present history. It's called Read, Reflect, Respond, the 3 R's of growth and change. And I just had a conversation today with someone who, a blast from the past, a man that I
Bless.
had, yes, a man that I had not spoken to, I would say in 50 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes, he was a friend of my brother. I was in middle school, they were in high school. He bought my book and has been so thrilled with how it is helping him to take a look at his life in the present. And the most exciting thing is that this guy is retired and he loved to do photography, but he had
Mm,
never thought about kind of doing anything with it. And because he read my book, he's doing the exercises, he's decided that he is going to take his photography seriously and investigate how he could put his photography out there for everybody to see and to hopefully make money on it as well. And that was so exciting to me to think of someone way back in my past who picked up the book and is now having a tremendous, excited benefit from it.
Miss Gloria, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge to the
You
world.
are welcome.
Hoping for more and more empowering books like this to come. Read, reflect, respond. What are your struggles in writing with this book?
Actually, this book itself was not a struggle. For some particular reason, over the last 4 or 5 years, my brain has produced essays. I might be in the middle of the night. It could be when I wake up in the morning. It could be between clients. Suddenly I get an idea for an essay and I shape that essay into just a single page. Now that's a challenge in and of itself because sometimes I'd like to go on for 2, 3, or 4 pages. But every one of these essays is confined to a single page. And after publishing them on MailChimp and Substack, I decided I'm going to collect these guys together and put them together in a book so that a person can do one a week. They can fill the year, and the facing page against the essay is actually blank. It has 2 or 3 stimulating questions on it, but the page is intentionally blank. It doesn't have lines on it because our brains hold information from early childhood. Actually, they hold information from in utero, but because that's not always housed in terms of language, I want people to be able to draw, to scribble, to respond to a blank page in ways that don't always have to include words. And by doing that, to tap into some of their deepest memories, some of their earliest histories that are limiting them right now and stopping them from doing what this guy is going to do, right? Which is to publish and throw his pictures out into the world and see who likes them.
Yeah. Why do you believe reflection is such a powerful tool for personal growth?
Because our brains hold everything that we have ever experienced. So you might think, well, there are so many blanks in my past. I don't remember anything until I was 3 or anything until I was 10. The truth of the matter is, your brain has recorded everything. And as I said earlier, your brain starts those recordings in the last trimester when you're still in the womb. So you can also have access to those pieces of information. We know historically that our genetic material carries information from the past 3 generations. So it is also possible that we can tap into experiences that our grandparents had, our great grandparents had, and our great great grandparents had. There's so much more potential in our brains than we ever tap into. And as we go through life and mature, all of the interactions that we have are stored there. And some of those interactions have confined us, right? They've hurt us, they've injured us in some way. And so we've blocked those out. But when you block out an injury, you actually create a process moving forward that puts a strict limit on you. If you can go back in time and unlock that injury, recover from that injury, you can open up a complete new sense of who you are, what your potential is, and what kinds of things you can do. So this book is designed to challenge people to reflect, to be able to open up parts of themselves that they've had locked away for a significant period of time, and through that, be able to grow, take a challenge, do something new, find a part of themselves that's been lost.
Be able to grow. That was amazing. Amazing, Gloria. And why do you believe that this book is your legacy to the world?
Well, because people can grow at any age. I've worked in my practice across the lifespan. I started my work with preschool children, and I have continued to work with adolescents, young adults, college age students. I now completely work with adults, some of them up into their 90s. And it's possible, regardless of what age you are, for change to take place, for you to find new parts of yourself that you've been hidden from, that have been blocked in terms of access. So I really believe we all have the potential for emotional growth, regardless what age we are. And this is a book that's going to help people explore that.
Yes, people. Let's read this book. Can you share a favorite reflection prompt from the book and why it resonates you?
Oh, gosh. I think there are several things contained in this book that stimulate me, that stir me. Let me take a look. All
Yes,
right.
go
There,
ahead, Miss
there's
Gloria.
so many. Here's one that's my favorite. You
Go
can make
ahead.
friends with a fly.
Oh, wow. Why is that?
So this comes from a story from one of my girlfriends. When she was a little girl, she was very outgoing. And this is a comment that her mother made about her, that she could make friends with a fly. And so I use that as the basis of encouraging people to take risks, to open themselves up in any situation, any social context, and just take the risk of trying, of exploring, of being interested in someone else. All right, tell a story. Pick something from your childhood and tell a story. And that will stimulate others to tell stories from their childhood. Um, Experiment with what interests you and share that with other people. The way that we make connections with others is to share a piece of ourselves. If we can't do that in a social situation, if we're too shy, if we're embarrassed, if we think, oh, these people are somehow not the ones that I would want to connect with, we miss an opportunity to go deeper into ourselves. So I'm going to encourage people to make friends with a fly.
Yes, indeed. Interesting and very well said, Miss Gloria. Beautifully articulated. What would you say to someone who finds reflection difficult or uncomfortable?
I would say you need to try this book because the fact that the facing page just has a few questions and a complete white open sheet gives you the opportunity to step out of language. We get stuck in language. And we think that we have to present ourselves with language in such a way that others will be impressed, that they'll be moved, that they'll want to know more about us. We miss the opportunity to express ourselves in terms of motion, in terms of context, in terms of drawing. So that's why the facing page in this book is completely blank. So you can tap into other parts of yourself outside of language and use those to inform you about what is stored up there in that brain. And you can learn a lot about yourself when you step outside of language.
Can this book be used for a group study or it's more for a personal journey, Miss
It is,
Gloria?
it is actually for either. One of the things that I hope happens with this book is that therapists will use it as a supplement to therapy, and that people using therapy in a group context will also use the book because each person will bring an important piece of their own history into the room, and that will inform the person across the room from them or the person next to them. This can definitely be used in a group setting as well as in an individual setting.
Miss Gloria, how does this method support emotional, mental, or even spiritual well being?
It taps into the basics of each one of us. So we have all had emotional histories, we've had social histories, we've had religious histories, we have family histories. This gives you an opportunity to go back into each one of those buckets, if you will, and explore how did this information, these interactions in this particular part of my life shape who I am today? And do I want to keep using those influences, or do I want to evaluate them in such a way that I modify them or abandon them or change them in some dramatic way so that I feel more informed about myself and that I feel more genuine. I think this will facilitate that kind of development in everybody that uses it.
Miss Gloria, were there any surprising insights or stories that emerged from early readers of the book?
What I have learned, all right, is that early readers, that one person commented that this is like dental floss for the brain.
Good.
That could be interpreted a variety of ways, all right? It's kind of a way of cleaning out the crumbs that you have not been paid attention to, but they get stuck in your teeth and therefore impact your interactions with other people, right? We've all heard about the person that goes on stage, right, with a piece of food stuck between the two front teeth. How embarrassing that is. But
Yes.
it is like dental floss for the brain. It is, let's pick out, let's uncover, let's clear out, let's clean out those things that have been getting in your way, that have been stopping you from interactions with others, from challenging yourself, and let yourself explore what can come out of more freedom, a better sense of yourself, the ability to take more ownership of how you function and what the impact of your history has been on you.
Indeed, Miss Gloria. And as an author, what would be your short term and long term goals?
Well, I'm working on a book about men and boys, and I hope to have that published within the next 6 months. The focus will be on helping fathers do a better job of raising their sons so that their sons maintain access to emotional parts of themselves in every culture in the world. We take boys and we structure interactions and expectations for our boys so that their emotional range of experience has to be narrowed. Makes perfect sense historically, right? If you're a caveman, you don't want to be kind of whistling as you travel out into the veldt to go hunting, because you certainly don't want to be noticed by an animal that can eat you. You want to be serious. But the limitation of that, the over exaggeration of that, leads to what we have in this world at this point, which is relationships between men and women are very difficult to sustain. The divorce rate is something around 50% or more. Very difficult for men and women to have emotional connection with each other that is sustainable. So, my hope is to educate fathers about how they can give their sons access to a broader range of feeling experiences and still maintain their sense of masculinity and being male rather than female.
Good luck to your goals, Miss
Yeah.
Gloria, and looking for more and more empowering books like this to come. And what would be your advice for those people out there who want to write their own book?
Oh, I would advise them to take themselves seriously and set aside time. And it doesn't matter whether you end up putting anything on the page during that time or not. You have devoted yourself to a purpose, and that devotion will lead you on a path of success. So take yourself seriously, set aside time.
Indeed. Thank you for your advice, Miss Gloria. How can someone stay consistent with using this tool in a busy life?
I don't think there is such a thing as staying consistent. It is organized so that you could do one of these essays a week, but you don't have to do one a week. You could do one a month. You could do one a day. All right. You could do one every once in a while until you complete all of them. So there's no time requirement. There's no recommendation that you must do one a week. It's also organized so that you can jump around in this book. You don't have to start with essay 1 and go to essay 52. They're organized in different categories, so you can open the book, take a look at the category, and figure out, wow, what fits me today? What do I really want to explore today? So take your time, but use the tool and you'll benefit.
Yes, use the tool, people. Are
Yes,
there future volumes or companion resources you plan to create for Read, Reflect, Respond?
there are futures. I am in the process of doing another collection of 52 that will be available next year.
Looking forward for that, Miss Gloria. But before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because Food 101 is already in fifth season with Chef Alessandro, one of the specialty chef in one of the five-star hotel in downtown Toronto. Please do listen to our latest episode. We are reading our letter senders all over the world. So please do listen Food 101 wherever you listen your podcast. So Miss Gloria, what do you hope readers feel, understand, or change after going through your book?
First, I hope that people will listen to your podcast because you're a marvelous interviewer and I've enjoyed spending time with you. And I hope that anyone who picks up this book will be able to go deeper inside and benefit from their own history.
Thank you so much, Miss Gloria, for sharing your book to the world. Thank you for sharing your knowledge to the world. And we are hoping for more and more and more empowering books like this to come. So
Thank you.
can you please invite our listeners to support your books? Miss Gloria,
Yes,
can you
I
please?
hope, I hope everyone finds the time to buy their own copy and
Yes.
to enjoy the journey that it will take them on. And I guarantee that there will be growth and there will be benefit, and you'll be looking forward to the next book.
Yes, indeed. People, let's support Miss Gloria Vanderhorst because if you support her, I've said more and more and more empowering books like this to come. So, Miss Gloria, thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you. Thank you, Daniel. I enjoyed.
More to come, people. See you soon.